Welcome to Black Sheep. Hi there, I'm Nancy from Black Sheep Knitting in Needham, Massachusetts. This is our weekly podcast where we tell you about yarns in the shop, things we're knitting, and sometimes tips and tricks. Let me start off with my knitting injury, although I haven't been to the doctor to have it diagnosed. However, this is stress. I think it's probably a tendonitis. I think there's a name for it. But I have a lot of pain, mostly here. And I exacerbated it by continuing to knit without a brace. And so I picked up this brace on Amazon, and it's helping. But I think I'm going to have to go get some advice from a doctor because I probably need OT for it, occupational therapy. Anyway, be careful. And I would say one of the things that can happen is if you're knitting with a yarn that's making you tug and push really hard on your needles, it's a good way to get an injury like this. So loosen up. I tend to be a tight knitter, and that's, I think, probably why I have this. And while I can still knit with this, it's not that comfortable. That said, I wanted to show you my finished, what am I wearing? I'm wearing a love note that is from, a long time ago, but it's still, I think, a wonderful pattern. And now I'm forgetting the designer, but we'll show it here. And this is two yarns held together. And this, it's a fingering weight and a silk mohair, I think. So it's from Tin Can Knits. Oh, how did I forget that? I don't know. Anyway, it's a fun one to wear with a little cami underneath. And it's kind of loose. It's warm today, but I'm perfectly comfortable. I'm not, I don't feel like I'm going to end up sweating. So it's a fun one. And we have, of course, tons of fingering weight and mohair and also alpaca combinations. I'm going to show you some alpaca in a minute. I finished my plain yoke T20, and the 20 means that it's 20 stitches over 4 inches. So I used a yarn called Iris, which we have here in the shop that I really love. It's the increases are it's not a raglan. It has a tiny bit of raglan down by the armhole. You can see it, but the majority of the increases are in the yoke. And it's meant to have this rolled collar, which is just stockinette, and the bottom was supposed to be rolled too, but I chose to do a ribbing. I think I showed this before, but I did a 2x2 rib, and then 3 or 4 rows of stockinette, and then I bound off. So anyway, it's finished, it's blocked, and all I need to do is weave in the ends. One schedule change that we have, Giavanna had scheduled a Fixing Your Mistakes class, and we scheduled it for, I believe it was the 24th of May, which is Memorial Day weekend. We have since changed it to June the 7th. So there's spaces in that class, so please call and sign up for that. You will learn so much, and people come in here all the time to have us fix their mistakes. And I had a customer once who we had shown, and then she went home and fixed her mistakes. And the next time she came in, she said, I learned to do that. And she said it was so empowering. So think about that. If you will feel so good about yourself and your knitting, if you get a mistake, be able to identify it, and be able to fix it. Because heaven knows that we love having people come in here all the time, because sometimes they buy yarn. It's a waste of your time to have to get in your car and drive here, especially if you're coming from a long way. If you live around the corner, no big deal. And we always love to see you, but we'd rather have you knitting than having us show you how to fix mistakes. Just wanted to mention that we still have more Dash yarn, Barocco yarn, and it's on sale at 50% off. So although this is not the time to be knitting with Dash, you can stock up and make a sweater. There's a great sweater called the Galati. Whew. Robin remembers because she made it. The Galati, which is a great sweater for that yarn, but you probably wouldn't want to be doing it in the hot weather. So you can come in and save up. Or we don't have it online on sale. So if you are an online customer, just call the shop and we'll take the 50% off and then, of course, ship it to you. Wanted to show you another yarn, because this is the time sometimes we put winter yarns on sale. We have Earth yarns, a DK. There's not a lot of these, but I think they're like 40% off if anybody likes this. It's a beautiful superwash merino. I believe, yes, extra fine merino. So it's extra fine means it's much softer. We also have these yarns from Earth called Spiral Grain. They're sport weight. They're a good substitute for if you want to do something with dyed in the wool from Spin Cycle and you don't particularly want to spend a lot of money. This is a good deal because this is now 40% off. And look at this one. You could mistake that for dyed in the wool. That's a really pretty one called Sugar Pine. Here's another one called Spruce. These are slightly more subtle than dyed in the wool, but they'd be really beautiful on anything where you need a color changing yarn. This one, well, I didn't say the name, sorry. This one is Elm. This one is Spruce. I guess we have a tree theme going. Magnolia. And we already have that one. And we already have that one. Yes, so these are the colors. And I think these would be great in any of the projects that call for Spin Cycle. That'd be really, and it's a really good price. So I recommend those. I wanted to show you what I'm working on. One of the things I'm working on right now. First one is with some new yarn that we got in. Oh, and Robin, can you grab some of these? It's the that one to the right and up one. Blanket Sonata. Nope.
Oh, the Sonata.
Yeah. So the one I'm doing with this new yarn, this is called Inlet, and by Yumiko Alexander, and some people will remember her. They've done a lot of her stuff. And so it's with two yarns alternating, and I think that it changes as you go up. I think the stripes become, you see the stripes, they become smaller. So one is with two strands held together and one is single strand. So the yarn that I'm using for this, and this is how it's supposed to start out and how it's supposed to look. It's a reverse stockinette. I'm not sure I like the reverse stockinette. I think I might have to do it in a regular stockinette. And this is where it's held double. And then you can just see in there, there's a little bit where it's held single. And I chose to, you could do either the alpaca, this is an alpaca, or you can do the other yarn, and this has little tiny sequins. This is called Marilyn, and this is called Cumulus by Fiber Spates. And Marilyn is, I believe, of course we covered up, Juniper Moon Fibers. So it's done in two pieces, and I think they're basically just two rectangles. And for a summer top, and this has a lot, this is the smallest size, and look how big it is. So it's, you could choose to make it smaller just by casting on fewer stitches, because it's just two rectangles. They're joined at the shoulders and at the sides. So this is what I'm doing. So I think that I may keep the stockinette showing this way because I like the way the sparkles are, but we'll see. So what I've done, I took these two and held them together, and I have more, which is, I have chosen, this is in Maryland in a color called Champagne Toast, and Cumulus in, it's, we made a mistake. It's supposed to be Sherbert.
It's Herbert.
But the label says Herbert because we left off the S. One of our
own S.
Yeah, whatever. So this I thought was a pretty combination. We also have this one is called Pearl Necklace. There the sequins show up a lot, and this is called Alpaca Haze from Rowan Mode, and this is called Jasmine. So I put those two together. And then this one is called Irresistible Kiss, and this is a very pale lavender. So I chose two yarns to put with it. This is an Isager, and I was watching a podcast called Danish Musings, and it's a woman named Hella from Denmark, and she said that this is really Isager, that the R isn't pronounced. I don't know. It is definitely not Isager or Isager. It's Isager, something like that. So anyway, this one's called Lavender. And I also chose this one in the Cumulus. I thought that was just, I love this color. It's called Sugar Violets. And I don't know, I might have to make a whole sweater out of that. It's so gorgeous. And there's some other beautiful colors in that yarn. Another project that I'm doing is called Nila or Nyla. I don't know how it's pronounced. And it's a Natasha Hornby. As many of you know, we're doing a knit-along on Saturdays for Natasha Hornby patterns. So any of you who want to come to the knit-along, it's Saturday 3 to 5. You can come and knit on anything, but we are specifically doing Natasha Hornby patterns. So I've started this, and I'm doing it in Noro Sonata, which is, I'll tell you what I like about it is I like what's in it. There's cotton, viscose, silk, and polyamide. It's like 35% cotton, and the rest is like 25%. But it knits up. So this is the back. And some of you will remember last year I did the Joanie Sweater from Natasja Hornby in this. And I'm finding this really fun. You know how you get knitting on something and it's just, you get to the point you've broken for the sleeves and the sleeves are on holders and you're just knitting in the round and you're knitting and you're knitting. So somebody in my class this morning said, when is this ever going to end? I keep knitting on it, it's not growing. What I love about this is there's some interest to this, and I'm finding that fun. I haven't knit something like this in a while, and I'm really enjoying it. I just started this the other day, like yesterday or the day before, and it's really fun. Nothing complicated about it, nothing that the average knitter couldn't do. And I don't know if there's a cable in this. I'm on the back, so I'm going to quickly look just so I'm not telling you the wrong thing. But there's what's called a right twist, which is really simple. It's over 2 stitches, and I've already done some on the back. And it's just knitting 2 stitches together, leaving them on the needle, and then you knit the first stitch and then take them both off the needle. But there is a chart, but I think you can, no, I don't think that she's written out the rows. I don't think so. No, so folks, get with the program and learn to read a chart. This is a very, very simple chart. And I actually prefer not to read the written words. I find that confusing. I find it when I look back down, I can't see where I am. If I'm doing a chart and I put this in a plastic sleeve like this, and then I get tape. We have transparent tape in different colors here in the shop. And then I put the tape on the row that I'm doing, or underneath the row that I'm doing. And then I move it up as I go along. So I find charts are very, very easy to follow. So if you haven't tried a chart, you should. And I dropped my knitting in my lap. So I wanted to show you some of the colors in this because they're very pretty. This is called, the yarn is Sonata, and this is called Crocus and Cherry Blossom. And they have a little bit of a color change to them. Now the white doesn't, but these do tend to be a little bit varied. This one less so. This one is called Waterfall. Very pretty. This one also doesn't have a lot of color change in it. And this is called Azalea. Yep. And this too. Not a lot of change in this. Called Pebble. It's a nice gray. And then this one, which I think is stunning, is called Oasis. Also, this is not a lot of change in the color. I think the first two were more. And so some good choices of that. And of course we have other yarns. It's a sport weight, so we have other sport weight yarns that you could choose from. But I do highly recommend this because it's fun to knit in a pattern that's not difficult. And there's nothing at all difficult about this. And the right twist, this is how the right twist turns out. It looks like a little cable, but it isn't cable. I mean, you don't have to use a cable needle. We have in the shop some new yarn that I'll show you, and it's a
Fiber Spades.
I know it's Fiber Spades. I was looking for the fiber content. Well, it's a merino and silk, and I don't. Oh, here I'm looking right at it. 45% silk and 55% superwash merino. But look at the shine. It's so soft. This is called Natural.
It's scrumptious 4-ply.
It's called, the yarn would help. Scrumptious 4-ply, and it's a company called Fiber Spades. And it is a sport to fingering weight. And the sport weight would be a little loose, but great for shawls, scarves, loose tank tops. We'll try to show some other patterns for it. So that one was called Natural. This one is called Glisten. There was another, oh, I know, there was a new pattern that came out from Joanie Sweater called Traveling Solo, and this would be a perfect one for that. This one, very similar, is Pearl. Look at these three together. Aren't they gorgeous? And it's so, so soft. And there's 399 yards per skein. So somebody was asking, I think a week or two ago, about for one skein projects. These would make good one skein scarves or shawls, like little neckerchiefs. This one, I think the peacock scarf, I think, is just a small neck scarf. So they'd be great for that. We have other colors here. This one's called Water. That's really pretty. I could see a top in that. It would be fun. Or a shawl, or you could even do like the easy folded poncho that we've shown a million times. Would be fun in something like this for summer, to just throw over like a sleeveless dress or sleeveless blouse or a tank top. This one is called Mulberry. These colors go really well together, I think. Look at those. Oh. And this one is just striking. I think it's called Rumex. I don't know what that means. But isn't that a gorgeous copper? And this is, what was I showing over there? Look at this. No, it's not the same, but they're similar to the Noro, but not really. This is called Teal. And this is called Jade. This is a popular color right now, I think. Come and check it out. They're online. Check out our sale priced, and we'll probably, as the summer goes by, we'll be putting more winter yarns on sale to make new yarns coming in, because we can't fit everything in here. So take advantage when it goes on sale. I think that's probably all. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. We had one of the staff members requested that I mention this. When you are changing yarns, unless you're really an expert in weaving in and you can do it without anything showing, go to the end of a row or stop before you start a row when you have to change skeins. You don't want to change in the middle of the row, so that you have those where you've woven in the stitches. You don't want to see that on the right side of your garment. So the way to, people will say, well, how do I know how much yarn I have? Generally, 3 lengths of the piece that you're doing will be what you need to get through the row. So I use that as a rule of thumb. If you don't have 3 lengths worth, cut it off and start anew. And remember, there are no knots in knitting. Do not, under any circumstances, tie a knot. You can if you wove in 2 pieces. I sometimes weave in 2 tails. I carry it behind, and so the 2 tails end up like close to each other. Sometimes I just put a light knot in there, but that's after I've woven all my stitches in. So you want to weave your stitches in, and you want to start the new skein at the beginning of a row. Yes. And you can do one of 2 things. You can later on weave those 2 tails in, or you can weave them down the side. If it's a garment that's in pieces, you can weave it down the side. But do not, whatever you do not tie a knot, because this is a sad story. Someone came in one day with a blanket that had been a knot had been tied in it, and the knot came undone, and lo and behold, it created a huge hole. And even if it's a little hole, if you've tied a knot and clipped the ends, there's no yarn there to make new stitches if you want to repair it. So don't do it, because you'll regret it. Anyway, I think the microphone has fallen. We put it on a silk scarf. Why did we think it was going to stay there? Anyway, we'll check it out, and otherwise we might have to do this over again. Oh dear. Anyway, I hope you all have a great week of knitting. Find a summer project. There's still time to make something quick for the summer. A little tank top would be great. And we'll see you next time.